Who were you being? No, really. Who are you being? This is a subject matter I am seeing all across the internet through big time manifesting gurus or people who are just like me, who are just filming their lives talking about things that they're manifesting. Manifesting with Kimberly talks about it. Love that girl. Sammy Ingram talks about stuff like this. Who do you want to be? Kim Velez mentions it. Dylan James mentions it. What are you trying to become? And I always thought it was simple. It was just decide who you want to be. I decided this is what I'm going to do. And I thought for the longest time, all I had to do was like pick a shirt out of the closet, throw it on. This is my millionaire shirt. Okay. But I wasn't sticking with it. It wasn't resonating. It wasn't sticking with me. And I was like, I manifested a ton. But everything I've manifested, it usually came because I wasn't trying to be anybody. I made a decision and that's how it was. And I went on with my life. But there are some aspects of my life in which I've never actually grasped what it means to embody that thing, that person, until the other day. The other day I had a conversation with someone, and it was a friend of my son's. And he and I were sitting around talking, and he knows I'm into this stuff. He knows I talk to him about it all the time. He understands. And we were sitting there BSing one day, and he was telling me about how he's having a rough go at school. Kids are bullying him. He feels not so much bullying, but he just feels left out. It's just a matter, I just feel left out. No one wants to do anything with me. No one wants to include me. People think I'm weird. And I'm like, well, some of it is the way you present yourself. Someone told me that they present themselves weird on purpose to cut people off at the pass so they don't insult him, which is kind of the truth. And, he was going on like, no one wants to include me, and I'm just having a rough pass. I'm just having a rough go, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out of this, Typical mentality of a teenager, and you think that's the end of the world in that moment, that's it. Scrap the year, start over, see you next school year, bye. Change schools, we're done, And I said to him, okay, hang on. I brought out my manifesting shirt. I said, which isn't this one. I said, who are you being? And he goes, what? I said, who are you being? Are you being a victim? Because it sounds like you're being a victim. And he goes, well, listen to me. You're being a victim. Okay. You're making an active choice to be boo-hoo, to no one wants to be friends with me. No one wants to do anything with me. I'm not included in anything. I can't get a girlfriend. And the list is a mile long, of all the things you can't have. I said, what is out there? What have I told you before? I said, what is out there in the 3D is printed news. It is literally no different than going over to the grocery store, to your Kroger, grabbing the newspaper on the stand on the way out the door, and looking at the news. I said, that news already occurred. Someone went to the site. Someone interviewed people. They talked about what went on. They went back to their office. They typed it up, put it into the printer, shot it off, and now you're reading it on the newsstand. I said, that's your 3D reality. Your 3D reality is an already printed newspaper. I said, what is the computer that sends it to the friggin' printer? What you decide is sending it out to the 3D. I said, if you're constantly sending out the message that no one wants to be friends with me, I can't get a girlfriend, I'm not getting anywhere in sport, I'm never going to succeed in school, I can't be, every time I group up with some people, they trade partners, or it's like, oh, I have that person, I'm picked last at gym. I'm like, the list could be a mile long, but is this how you're choosing to present yourself in school? And he just looked at me for a minute. I said, okay, now that I have your attention, here's what I want you to do. I want you to walk in. I said, this isn't going to fix itself in a day. So don't come back to me tomorrow and go, Mrs. P, hey, I just want you to listen to me. This is going to take a little bit of time. It may take months. It may take about 6 months out of the school year. It may take the end of the school year. I don't know. How long you conform, how long you change you to the new sense of self. I want you to walk in and almost borderline in here, arrogantly, confidently stand there and go, people like to be around me. I'm always chosen to be part of groups. And if you start to see that no one's picking you, go, that was the old stuff that's coming through. I haven't hit print on the news story yet. And then you stand there and you, okay, keep going. People want to be friends with me. I don't care what the 3D says. I have a ton of friends that I sit with at lunch. My times for track have gone up immensely. I'm so much faster than I was before. Or swim, or I made more hoops in basketball, or fit more homers in baseball, or, whatever, more passes in football, like more ball time. And I got more present time. My times went down considerably in swimming. I made the next team. I'm making varsity, whatever your sport. I said, you stand there and you go, I'm hitting this achievement. I'm hitting this achievement. These people want to be my friend. These people, and it's not so much you're looking for the adoration of these people. Screw the adoration. It's changing who you are. And those people will conform to what you're looking for. And if they don't conform to what you're looking for, then they're the wrong people to be in your life. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're the wrong people that are supposed to fit in your little proverbial star. That your little shape goes into the star. They're the wrong shape for you. And that's fine. Nobody is the perfect shape for everybody. That's impossible. You want to throw a wide net and just catch some fish along the way. That's what you want. I said, if you throw the net and you get one fish, okay, fine. Throw the net again. What happens? You get a few more fish. Great. You're doing well for yourself. Quality over quantity, baby. That's all I got to tell you. And he was like, I guess. I said, okay, let me ask a question. What feels better? Oh, no one's my friend. I got slower in swim, and I may not even make the varsity team in baseball. And geez, I got a C in that test, and everyone pushed me out of the group for science today. Or do you walk in and go, everyone wants to be my buddy? People are asking me for help. I've actually managed to help people today. I wonder if I could be a tutor. I can't believe how good my times have gotten in swim. They really have come down quite a bit. Or, you know what? Coach told me I'm making varsity baseball. I'm in. What feels better to you? I said, try it. And he tried it. And he's like, you know what? You're right. This feels better. I said, good. I don't give a squat what's in that 3D. You already put it there. So you can't boo-hoo in your soup over what you've already put out there. Now what I want you to do is change it. I said, you don't have to be like delusional and cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and outwardly. You don't have to walk up to someone's face and tell blatant lies, but in your head, this is what I want to say. This is the person I'm becoming. This is what I want to become. And it clicked. And I was like, oh shit. This is what they're talking about. Who do you want to be? What do you want to become? Who do you want to embody? I know it sounds so simple. The words are so simple. But when you're kind of lost, they're not so simple. When you feel a little lost and you feel a little confused and you think you got to fake it till you make it, you got to fake it till you get what you want. No, that wasn't it. It was deciding and not wavering and not looking at the 3D for a moment and going, well, the 3D says this. Well, the 3D says that. Oh, well, but what if this doesn't work out? I'm going to play devil's advocate. What if this doesn't work out for me? And what if this? And what if that? And what if this? And it's like, you realize very quickly, like, oh, no, maybe I am waffling. Maybe I am doubling back and devil's advocating myself. And, ooh, I know every time I do that, I'm stuck in limbo. And I explained this to him and he just sat there and he was like, I get it. I get it. Like, thank you. I said, I want you to now go in this. It won't be overnight. You will not change your world an overnight. You might, but it takes some convincing. If you've thought a certain way for so long, it's going to take a little bit of time to readjust your thinking and to be totally convinced and totally all in on the new mindset, on the new story. I said, but that's fine. Let it take as long as it takes to sink in and it becomes automatic, that you automatically think of these answers. I understand swimming. So I hit 25 seconds in a 50 free. Okay. That's a good time for getting started. Like, you're doing good. Let's hit that. Hit that. I don't care what that board says. Hit that. Board says you hit 38. Well, good. Your next marker is 30. And it's funny because my son is the reason I say I'm into swim because my son's a swimmer. Both my kids are. And I had this conversation with my younger son and he was down on himself. He was hitting really bad times. And I gave him this whole story for like over an hour, pretty much what I'm talking about right now. And I said to him, you're hitting 45 and a 50 free. He's only 11 years old. At the time he was 10. So he was like, I don't know if I could hit that. And that's a lot. I said, Mr. 45, you got this. And I kept calling him Mr. 45. I said, you're going to walk in and you're going to hit 45. You're going to hit 45. But I'm going the wrong way. You're hitting 45. And I kept saying it. I kept repeating it. Finally, I had him repeating it. And would you know, within a month, his coach came to me and goes, I don't know what you said. I don't know what you did to him. But that is the fastest turnaround I have ever seen in any swimmer on my swim team. Because this kid went from almost being cut off the team to be back to the training team to all of a sudden dropping 30 seconds, 20 seconds, practically what it feels like overnight. And I think it's been a month. Because I haven't seen anything like it. I don't know what you said or what you did. And so I told him what our new set of goals are. And he's like, let's hit those. We can do that. Now I have him in on it. The coaches are in on it. Like, this is a good thing, And I said this to my son's friend. I'm like, this is a good thing, Like, start with this habit. Decide who you want to be and chase it. Declare it. Claim it. This is me. I have this money. And it doesn't have to. Let's say you're looking for money. You don't have to say, "Oh, I'm looking for $5 million." You can, but I mean, want to be? My bills are paid. Throw the wider blanket for right now. What's the wider blanket? What's the wider net to catch the fish? My bills are paid in full. When I open my credit card statement, it says I owe nothing. I have zero debt. When I open my bank statement, there's money in my account and lots of it. There's 6 figures in my checking account or my savings account. It's a lot of money for a checking account. But you know what? Hint, you know what? That much money in a checking account. But what I'm saying is, when you look at, just throw a wide net and then start honing in on little details. Decide who that person is and go. So I'm going to ask you before I go, who do you want to be? Decide. Don't waver and commit. You're done. I'll talk more because I know that this was one of those. It was one of those moments that it took me a while to get it. I mean, quite a while to understand it. So I want to keep repeating it, and I'm going to try different ways to word it so this way it's understandable to you. I'm going to try to be on at least 3 days a week from this point forward, and I will hope to God see you soon. Have a wonderful day. And if you're, anywhere in this country right now, if you're anywhere in the U.S. right now, you're about to freeze your little galloons off. And so I hope to God that everyone stays warm. Everyone has a safe place to be. Everybody has a warm blanket, heat, food, something. And if you don't, please find a way to get there. Things will get better in your life. I swear they will. Just commit that they will. Okay. Stay dry, stay warm. Hope you have a shovel if you have it. Have a good week. Bye.